Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to have a pretty quick tutorial where I'm going to go over some basic networking concepts and then we'll implement them into our projectile to create client replication. I'll be covering TCP and UDP connections and how they relate to remote events and the new unreliable remote event in Roblox. Now, when the unreliable remote event was added, I'll admit I thought it was some sort of like April Fool's joke that came in November. But it's actually very useful. Now let me explain. Whenever we send data from the server to the client or the client to the server, we create a connection. We can think of this as paving a road between the server and the client. Now in Roblox, these connections come in the form of remote events and remote functions. They come in two forms: Transmission Control Protocol, or TCP, and User Datagram Protocol, or UDP. Now TCP is equivalent to the remote events that we've been used to in Roblox. They send signals reliably from the server to the client and from the client to the server, but they're a little slow. The signals are always received in the order that they were sent, and we typically use them to send larger amounts of more important data because TCP is guaranteed to reach its target. But we use TCP pretty sparingly because it has to be packed and unpacked, which is pretty slow. Games use UDP to send data very frequently when losing one set here and there is not so significant. UDP connections are faster because they do not require the whole unpacking process of a TCP connection. However, this means that the data you send will not reliably reach its target. Some signals may be lost completely and others might be received out of order. Let's say you send 16 bytes of data in one signal and then you send 4 bytes in the other signal. The signal with 4 bytes might be received before the signal with 16 bytes even though it was sent later because of the size of the information as well as some other network-related factors. This is why we use UDP connections to send small bits of data rather than large packages that we would normally send with a TCP signal. In a multiplayer game, player movement is always sent through UDP because it must be updated every server tick to be accurate. If we're updating something every tick, it's not so significant that the client receives every frame because it's just going to be overridden by the next frame anyways. Now with the new addition of unreliable remote events, we can utilize the power of the faster UDP signal in our Roblox games. Let's see how we can use the new unreliable remote event for client replication on the projectile from last episode. Alright, welcome back guys. We're in our projectile place from last episode. Now, I did make one small change, and what I did was I deleted the visualization from this because it was just a placeholder. Like, you don't want to make a new part every single frame. That was simply for the purpose of the tutorial. Okay, you don't want to do that in your actual games. But how do we get that to be efficient? Well, like, you don't want to run your effects on the server. That's gonna cause server lag when you have too many projectiles. Well, you're gonna have to run it on the client. Now, how do you do that? Well, good thing Roblox added our unreliable remote events, which use our UDP connections. How do we implement that? Well, first we have to actually tell the client that a ball is being thrown, which we're gonna have to use a remote event for that. So let's create a folder. Let's name it client effects, and let's make a regular remote event. And I've decided we're gonna make a laser because those are cool. Okay, so let's name our remote event laser shoot. Okay, and let's you know what? Let's call this projectile. Let's call it like a laser gun. Now I'm gonna just replace the model real quick because just for fun. So here we have our laser gun and our laser. You know, you might have seen it before. So let's move this gun back in our starter pack, and let's create a new folder in replicated storage, and let's just call it effects. Okay, and we're just going to be cloning the laser every single time it shoots. So there we go. Now let's actually get our effects folder in here. Okay, so we have our folder for the remotes that we're gonna actually use. Now, quick warning, don't do this in your actual projectile module, okay? This is a module, it's supposed to be modular. You don't really want to be like calling specific effects from your module. But for the sake of the tutorial, we're just gonna do it like this. You get the point, it's bad architecture, don't do that, okay? It's modular. So every time we cast the projectile, we're gonna want to send out to every client that we're shooting a laser. Okay, so client effects dot laser shoot fire all clients. We're gonna fire all clients. Now on the receiving end, let's say there's like 30 lasers at once. Now we're gonna be updating the laser every single loop. Okay, every single time it loops around, we're gonna update the laser on all the clients. But how are we gonna know on the client which laser to update if there's like 30? We're gonna have to have like an index for this. So we're gonna say local index is equal to tick. That tick will be different every single time we shoot the laser because it's just the current time. So we're gonna fire the index to all clients. Let's go to our client. Let's make a new starter player script. Let's just call it effects. And we're just gonna receive the tick, and we're gonna see if our remote event is receiving or not. Okay, so we have our basic remote event set up. Let's see if we're receiving the projectile index. Yeah. Okay, as you can see, we're getting a different time every single time we click that, which is good. We want to store every laser into a table. So let's make a table. Let's just call it lasers, and let's do that. Okay, so let's just make a new laser. So local new laser is equal to, let's get our effects folder. So local effects. We're just gonna say effects.laser flow. And we're gonna lasers at index is going to be equal to our new laser. And we have the trash folder, so new laser parent. I like to put all my effects into a server called trash just for organization. So equals trash. So what we're doing is we're just making a new laser every single time we fire the projectile. So boom, and there's a laser. And we haven't done anything with it yet. But if you look at the workspace, look at trash, every single time I click, it should make a new laser. Great. Okay, now we're gonna update that laser. So here's where we get to use the new unreliable remote event. Okay, so let's add an unreliable remote event. And let's just name it laser update. Okay, so we're gonna be firing this laser update every single frame. So let's do it right here. Okay, so client effects dot laser update fire all clients. We're gonna fire the index of the laser just so we know which one we're updating. We're gonna fire the current position, and we're gonna fire the projected position. So as you can see, I did this before we update the current position. So this is still the current position of the last loop or the last update. So basically the point is that I want the laser to be at the current position and face the projected position, just so that we have a nice like arc on our laser. You'll see what I mean. So let's just get that. Let's get that remote in our client. So okay, so we just have it so it prints the 3 values that were passed. So this should like spam our client. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, but this is fine. This is good because this is a UDP connection. So we actually want it to do this. Let's update the laser. So our current laser, let's make a variable called current laser is equal to lasers at index. And we say if current laser, then current laser dot position is equal to current position. Let's just do that. Let's see what that looks like. Great. That's a little funny looking. But that's exactly what we want. Boom, client replication done. Now, as you can see, it's not deleting. Okay, so we actually want it to delete at some point. Now, we want the delete to be in a regular remote event. because let's say we fire the unreliable remote event with a message that says delete the laser. Well, what if that message doesn't get received? Now, the laser being deleted is information that we need to communicate to the client. Otherwise, we're gonna have like a bunch of lingering lasers, as we just saw. So let's name this laser delete. And let's go to our projectile and let's just fire the laser delete. Okay, so this could be cool if you want to have like a cool effect happen whenever it gets deleted. So let's say if ray result then client effects dot laser delete fire all clients. We're gonna fire true that it hits something, and we're gonna have the array result dot position. Actually, we don't even need to fire true. We can just have it fire the array result position, and then if it doesn't hit something, oh, we also need to fire the index, by the way. Forgot. Fire the index and the array position. Else, we are going to fire the index and then no, because there is no array position. So going back to our effects, let's have our laser delete function. Okay, so we're just gonna have it to where if we fire the laser delete function, and if we find the current laser in our indexes, then we're just gonna destroy it and we're gonna delete the variable. And then we're just gonna connect that. Okay, so this should just delete the laser whenever the function, or whenever it's detected. Okay, it just fell through the floor, great. There we go. It deleted the laser. Deleted it again. Okay, great. Okay, so looks like our laser is successfully being deleted. That's great. Now let's make it look a little nicer, because obviously it's not a laser right now. We could just say current laser.cframe is equal to cframe.lookAt, and we're at current position. We want to look at projected position, and up vector is just the up vector. Okay. So that should make our laser look in the direction that it's moving. There we go. That actually looks quite nice. I'm very happy with that. Let's make it do a little explosion whenever it gets deleted. You know, I'm getting a little jiggy today. I'm adding some flourishes. Okay, so let me make an explosion particle real quick. So I pretty much finished the particle. It's nothing special. Here, it's really just a bunch of squares that explode. That's kind of it. So let's just add that. We have our explosion here. Let's add it to effects. On our laser delete function, we have the result position. Now, let's get a local particle is equal to effects dot explosion. Well, we're just going to put the particle dot position is equal to result, and then we just wrap it in an if result then end. So if we have a result, we spawn the particle. Okay, great. All right, well, that's the laser. It's done. I think it looks beautiful. So hope you guys enjoyed this new video. I am coming up on 1,000 subscribers, so if you'd like to see something interesting as a special, make sure to leave a comment down below or tell me in my Discord server. I'm open to suggestions. I do have an idea because I've been learning Godot recently. I made a video game in 24 hours video on Godot. So maybe, unless you guys have some kind of better idea, I could do like a Q&A or something boring. Well, not boring. I think you guys could definitely learn from a Q&A. Anyways, leave suggestions in the comments. This is probably the end of the projectile series. I think it turns out great. Like and subscribe. Leave your questions in the comments. I'll try to answer them. And see you guys later. Peace.